Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome. I'm excited. It's Thursday. Hello, everyone. Welcome in to the DanceFit Hub. It's another Thursday. How's your week going so far? Let me know in the comments. If you're not sure where that is, I'm going to say hi in the comments. And I want you to go ahead and tell me where you're joining in from. Say hello. Tell me how your week's going. I want to connect with all of you. I feel like it's been a while. I don't know why, but this week has gone by really slow. So, yeah, let me know. Come on in, say hello, tell me where you're watching from. Put it all down in the comments. Maybe I don't look so familiar to you, but it was definitely raining, so it was kind of a hot day. Plus, my hair is all braided, but it's me, and I'm really excited actually to be here with you today because the topic that we're talking about, I'm really passionate about. I don't know, this month is past month, I should say, I've been talking about the same kind of subject, just in different ways. And tonight we're kind of really putting it all together. So, the real reason that getting up from the floor feels hard. Yeah, I'm gonna give you the real reason. And guess what? It's not your age. It's not. I know a lot of you think that it is. You would like it to be, but it isn't. So let me ask you a question as you are all coming in. Let me just first say hello. Candace is here from Chicago. Monica, hey chica. Raymond, Leonora, hello. Say hello in the comments, please. All right. So let me ask you a question to kind of get things going. When it comes to getting down on the floor and getting back up, right? Because one is definitely easier than the other for some people. Okay. So what do you think that you need? All right. What is it that you think your body needs in order for that to happen? So, what do you think your body needs for you to be able to get down on the floor? And what do you think that your body needs to get up from the floor? So, we have a few of you on. So, go ahead and put your responses in the comments, please. I'll give everybody a few, about a minute to respond. And maybe in the meantime, we get some more people in. All right. So again, what is it that you think that your body needs? What does it need in order for you to make it to the floor, right? And not falling down. That's not what your body needs. And getting back up. All right. So let's check it all out. Let me see what the responses are here. There may be a little delay. So let's see. Let's see what the answers are, because I know what the answers are that I get from women every single day. So I'm going to be sharing those with you, but I want to hear from you. I want to hear from those of you that are watching right now live. Okay, so Candace says strength, flexibility, and strategy. That's a good one, Candace. I'm liking the strategy part. Yes. Okay, keep it coming. Let's hear from Monica, Raymond, Leonora. What is it that you think that you need in order for you to get down to the floor and then get back up? And if you're listening to this on the replay, I'm giving you extra time to think about it. So if you have a pen and paper, like jot it down. What is it that you think that you need? Monica says, strength. I can make it down, but up is a struggle. Yes, I'm feeling you, Monica. I am feeling that. Literally, physically, I'm feeling that. Okay, all right. While we wait for the other comments, I'm going to tell you what I usually hear, right? The answers that I usually get, the comments that I usually hear all the time from women over 50, okay? And I say women over 50 because I work in an over 55 community, but believe it or not, there are women there that are like between 50 and 55. So now I say women over 50, right? But I'm going to tell you that most of my clients are 60, 70, and almost 80. Okay, so these are the answers that I get. They think that they need stronger knees, that they need to lose weight first. That's a really popular one. Or that they need someone or something to help them to get up or to get down, and or they just avoid the floor altogether. I mean, that is a super popular one. I can't tell you the amount of times that people come to my aerobics class. Now, if you don't know, an aerobics class is like, think back in the 80s, Jane Fonda, Jack LaLanne, right? It's just a movement class, right? But I don't know why. I get people that ask me, am I going to need equipment and do you get down on the floor? Right away, that's like a red flag for me. I'm like, okay, this person struggles. I know they're struggling with it because that's why. And then they follow it with, because I don't do that. I don't get down on the floor. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Why is that? Usually, because I had a knee replacement. I've had several knee replacements. I've had a hip replacement, had a shoulder surgery, right? So that's a very popular one, the whole avoiding the floor altogether. Okay, but what if I told you that most women and most of you in here are focusing on the wrong thing? Okay, and that's why I decided to create something special that's coming up on the 23rd, and you might have already seen me post about it, but I'll tell you all about that in a little bit. Okay, so let's talk about why this matters. Okay, as you're getting older, as we are getting older, one movement becomes incredibly important. Okay, and that is getting down and up from the floor. Okay, now when might we have to do that? Right? If you're the type of person that's avoiding it completely, you're like, well, I never have to do that. Well, some of us, right? Some of us do those kinds of things, right? Or have to do those kinds of things, right? Let's say you drop something. Okay, you have to bend down at some point, right? And if it's low enough, you may actually have to get a little lower for that, right? Cleaning, some of us still clean. I know that for a fact. Some of you fancy people have cleaning ladies. So yay, right? But every day kind of tidying up, right? Gardening, we have a lot of gardeners in here. We have a lot of dancers in here. We have a lot of women who struggle with balance. So maybe getting up after a fall, getting up from a chair, right? Maybe those are times where we have to still get up, right? Um, and so there are a lot of activities that do actually require you to do that. I know, like when I'm playing with kids, right? Kids are very small. So usually you have to get down to their size, right? So if you have grandkids, great grandkids, maybe that's a thing, right? And so here's something that a lot of women don't realize. Okay, one of the biggest predictors, okay, and you can Google this if you would like, my researchers, my people that like to check, do fact checks, right? One of the biggest predictors of long-term independence is your ability to get off of the floor. Okay, and that wasn't determined by me. This is based on research by a lot of important people out there that this is their life. They do research on this, right? And this is what has come up, that the biggest predictor of your long-term independence. So what does that long-term independence mean? How long you will be able to do something for yourself without assistance is the ability to get up off the floor. Okay, but most of us stop practicing this movement years earlier. Okay, so if you're like, I can't even remember when the last time it was that I actually went all the way down to the floor and got up. Okay, that's because we just kind of stopped having to do it, right? Or you just stopped practicing it. Okay. And why did we do that? How did that all of a sudden happen? Well, because you believe that something that's going on with your body is what's preventing you from doing it. Okay. So let's talk about what those things that you believe that are preventing you from doing it, what those might be, right? So let's start with number one. I need stronger knees, right? So a lot of women blame their knees. Poor knees, they get the blame for everything, right? But your knees aren't supposed to do all the work, right? If your hips and your legs are weak, then the knees end up taking all of the stress. Okay. So the problem usually isn't the knees, right? It's the support system around them, right? So when everything else is not strong enough, then the knees are like, whew, they're working overtime, right? And so that's when you start feeling the pain and it becomes chronic and you're like, yeah, I need stronger knees, or I need new knees, or these knees, forget it, right? Everything is knees, knees, knees. And then number two is I need to lose weight first. Heard this also, right? Usually, I'm going to say that I've heard that comment from someone who is overweight, right? Most of the time, I'm going to see what the similarities are. I'm trying to think of the people I've spoken to, but most of the time they're overweight. Most of the time they've had chronic knee issues because of their weight, right? So they're thinking, I just need to lose the weight first, and then everything's going to fall into place. Constant. This one I hear a lot, right? And then I'll work on that once I lose the weight. So I don't have to do that right now, but I'll work on it, right? And while it's true that losing weight takes a lot of pressure off of your joints, right? Knees, hips, right? The women who regain floor strength usually do it before the weight loss happens. And then the weight loss is like a bonus because they're doing something different, right? So it's not the weight, okay? Number three is I need something to hold on to, okay? Excuse me. So it's not, sorry, it's not that, now it's not the knees and it's not the weight. It's, well, Catherine, I just need to hold on to something. I can't do it on my own. I need a chair. I need a railing. I need to hold on to somebody. And so those are all fine for support. I get it, right? I'm not going to say that I've never used a chair or a railing or, my husband to like kind of pull me up, right? I've done that. But if that's the only way that you can get up, like literally the only way, then your body never learns the actual movement pattern again. So it all goes back to when you stop doing it, when you stop practicing it, your body starts to forget. And so you don't even know how to do that movement pattern anymore. Okay. Now, number four is, I get this all the time, it's part of getting old. Like, I don't go down on the floor because it's part of getting old. I'm not supposed to do that anymore. Those days are done for me, right? This is the biggest myth of all. And those of you that have been here for a while, you know that when it comes to you pulling out the I'm old card, that's not going to work for me, right? I work with women in their 60s, in their 70s, some even approaching 80 and in their early 80s who are improving this skill or have improved this skill, okay? So age is not the biggest factor, okay? That is, if you're still blaming your age for a lot of the things that are happening with your body, that's old beliefs, old stuff. That's not true anymore, okay? We're not going there. Age is not the biggest factor, it's practice. Practice is the biggest factor, okay? So This might surprise you. Getting off the floor is really just a combination of a few basic things. It's not rocket science. Like, you don't have to be in the best shape of your life. You don't have to be young. You don't have to have muscles bulging out anywhere, right? It has nothing to do with that. Let's talk about the combination that you need. So, first of all, leg strength, right? Your legs have to be strong. Your glutes, which is your butt, right? Your butt area. Your quads, which is the top front of your legs. And your hamstrings, which are the back of the top of your legs, right? So your thighs, right? And the backs of the thighs and your glutes, that's the leg strength that you need. These are the same muscles that help you stand up from a chair every day. So if you're getting off of your couch, getting off of your chair, whatever it is, that's it. And getting up from the floor is just is simply like a bigger version of that particular movement. That's why it requires more strength, right? Hip mobility. Okay, so hips are something that we kind of neglect, right? We focus so much on our knees and on our legs, and then we forget all about the hips, right? But if your hips don't move well, everything feels harder, okay? So for those of you that have had hip replacements or hip issues, right? Like for me, I have one hip is higher than the other. That's just the way I was made, right? So you probably have realized some things feel a little harder, right? Like kneeling, like squatting, like even just stepping through some movements, right? Just in certain movements that you make, okay? So don't neglect the hips, because hips also need to be strong. You need a lot of mobility in that area to assist the rest of the leg, okay? Let me just take a moment here. I saw a message. I need time to get back to my exercise routines and classes in spite of a challenging year. Taking care of my sick husband, and I'm still able to get down on the floor and get up on my own. The only thing I've been doing is walking when I can. Yes, Nora, that's amazing. Keep practicing that. Keep practicing that. All right, so we have leg strength you need, hip mobility, and third is gonna be core stability, okay? Now, the core is kind of complicated because a lot of people are like, what exactly is my core? I hear a lot of people talking about my core, pull in your core, do this with your core, right? Okay, the core is what stabilizes you while you move between positions. Your core is the thing that keeps you standing up, basically, right? It's the thing that assists you to get out of bed every morning. It's the thing that assists you to sit on the toilet every day, get up from the toilet every day. Just basic movements. And some of them you don't even realize, right? But like kneeling, standing, rolling, those kinds of things, they all require your core. And even for me, I did not realize how much we actually use our core until I had my first C-section. Okay, so if you've ever had any type of abdominal surgery, okay, and you went through that recovery process, you probably experienced what I did, which was, OMG, I cannot even move because I feel like I'm going to fall apart in the middle of my body, all right? So the core, you use the core for everything. That's why it's super, super important. That's why, when you go to the gym and you take classes, your instructors are always saying, like, you have to build your core. You have to stabilize your core, find your core, right? Because your ab muscles, in case you're like, well, what about your abs? Like, what about those? Those are on the outside. Those are kind of protecting. They're right on the outside protecting your core. But your core is literally at the core of your body, okay? So we have leg strength, hip mobility, core stability, and last but not least, of course, is practice. Okay, this is the part that most women skip. Okay, you can't improve a skill that you never practice. You know this, right? You know when you were younger and maybe your parents made you take piano lessons. And for those of you that maybe were not so into it, like the less you practice, the more you showed your teacher that you had not practiced, right? You just didn't get better at it, right? Same thing if you're like into sports, right? When you started, you probably were just learning the sport, and but if you didn't practice the sport, then the skill doesn't get developed, right? It's the same thing with this, okay? If you don't make an attempt to improve the skill that you already know because you've been doing it since you were little, right? Since you were crawling, since you learned how to get up and how to walk, okay? When you stop practicing it, that's when that fear starts to kind of become your reality. Many women don't avoid they don't avoid the floor, not because they can't do it. They avoid the floor because they're afraid that they won't be able to get back up. That's the fear. So it's not like, can I make it to the floor? Obviously, you can. If you've fallen, you've made it to the floor. If you had assistance, you can make it to the floor, probably, right? It's the getting up part. That's the struggle. That's the really big struggle. And the longer that you avoid that something, right? That hard something, the longer that you avoid that, the harder that it becomes mentally. Okay. And that's the real struggle. That's at the core of what the fear is. It's not like, oh, I'm so scared, I'm not going to be able to get up. No, it's like, oh, it's frustration, it's embarrassment, it's you not trusting your body again, it's you feeling weak, all these negative mental thoughts, right? But the good news is that this is something that you can rebuild step by step, no matter how old you are. So please put away your I'm too old card. Thank you very much. This is actually the reason that I created something new for all of you this time around. The 3-day Rise Strong Challenge. Okay, so you've seen me post about it. You're like, what the heck is it? Not really sure. Okay, well, the 3-day Rise Strong Challenge is to help women 50 and beyond, that's everybody in here, right? Build the strength and the confidence that you need to get down to the floor and back up safely and in control. So over 3 days, not going to be a 5-day one. This is over 3 days. I'll show you how to safely get down to the floor and back up, because I'm not going to send you there and then not be able to come back up, right? How to build real strength at home. Okay, so no gym or machines or anything like that, right? And how to train your body to stay capable and independent. Okay, so again, I'm going to show you all those things without going to the gym, without fancy equipment and machines, and without long, painful workouts. I mean, does it get any better than that? I don't know, right? The best part is that right now, you don't have to be able to do that. You don't have to be able to get down on the floor or get back up. So if you're like, well, I can't do any of that, so forget it, I guess I'm out of this challenge. No. The point is for you to participate so that you learn how to do those things for your body, okay? Because there isn't just one way, right? Everybody's body, physical body, is different. So there isn't just one way to do it, right? So that's what we're going to be kind of touching on. So with that being said, let me ask you, those of you that are listening right now, how confident do you feel getting up from the floor right now? So Nora already said she's fine. She can get down and she can get back up, right? So I'm going to say she's a number one. She's very confident, right? But if you're like somewhat like, right? That's number two. So you can give yourself a 2. If you're somewhat confident, just type a 2. This way I know. If you're number 3, that's no, not confident. So number 3 is not confident. And then number 4 is like, forget it. I avoid the floor. Okay. So number 1, the question is, how confident do you feel getting up from the floor right now? Number 1 is very confident. So you would put a number 1. Number 2 is somewhat confident. Number 3 is not confident, like, oh, right? And number 4 is like, forget it. I avoid the floor completely. Okay. And if this is something that you want to improve, I'm not even saying like that you can't do. This isn't only for people that can't do it. This is for people that actually want to improve this skill. So it may be something that you've been working on, or that you're kind of seeing it's not the same or hasn't been, right? That's who this challenge is for, right? And if you're like, yes, I think I want to try it out, right? Because it's a free challenge. You don't have to pay anything to learn what we're going to be showing you, right? So all you have to do is put the word challenge in the comments, and then I'll send you the details. Okay, so super, super simple. You don't have to go to any website or do anything fancy schmancy. All you need to do is put the word challenge in the comments, okay? And if you have a friend that's not in this group, but you want them to join, right? To join you in this challenge, or if you're like, so and so could really use this, right? I'm gonna tell her about it. Definitely tell your friend about it. All I need is their email address, and that's it, right? Because for those of you that don't know how the challenges work, so every day I will be doing a training. I'll let everybody know what the time is for that. It starts on the 23rd. So the 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th, I'll be coming live just like this into this group, giving you a training, right? And then those of you that provided your email addresses, you will get the replay emailed to you. So just in case you forgot, just in case you didn't know what to do, just all of those things, right? And each day, just like in all the other challenges, you will have a little homework. And then those that participate in the challenge all get entered to win the grand prize. Okay, so that's going to be coming soon, but I'm just sprinkling it out there so that you all understand why I am creating this challenge and why I think it's so important for everyone. I have to, oh, I see some numbers. All right, all right, all right. I do have to actually thank a few ladies. I'm not going to name their names, but a few ladies for actually sharing their stories with me the last couple of months. I mean, it's kind of weird because the topic came up in conversation. And then since then, I have to tell you that at least one person that I know in class or where I work has fallen like every single week. So think of that particular, what do you call it, ratio, I guess, right? So at least one person falls a week. Some of them, no scratches, nothing hurt, everything's fine, just some bruising. Some of them fractures, some of them really bad fractures. So it happens. It happens. This always happens. So my job is to protect you, to show you the way, so that you can be educated, right? I like what Candace said, right? To have a strategy, so that you are able to do it, to practice it, so that when it does happen, when it's needed, when you need to do it, you know how to do it for your body. Okay, because I'll give you a quick story, which I'm sure I'll be sharing. But one of my I've known her for 14 years, I guess, right? She was in her home. Her son was home, but he was sleeping, and she, ended up falling. She fell. She called for him. He didn't hear her, and she like panicked, right? Because that's what happens. We just panic, right? And then if it wasn't for the conversation that we had had earlier that day about different ways to get up from the floor, she literally told me, she's like, I would have gone to my old ways doing what I thought I needed to do. And honestly, I don't even think I would have been able to do what I would normally do to get up. So thank God that we had that conversation, right? And I was like, wow, this is going to be a great topic. Okay, so I do hope that you're seeing the value of what these skills are and how it really, really is going to be kind of determining how you age, right? And most importantly, the how long you remain independent, right? So that's what we're all about in here. So with that, I am going to check. Okay, so a lot of you, it looks like, that are on right now. We have a 1.5 is Candace. Junette says 2. Monica says 2. And Maria says 6. Oh, I fell 6 times in 2 weeks. Exactly. Okay, Maria, that's why I'm asking this question, because I wanted to know. And I love that you were honest about that. And that, 6 times in 2 weeks, that's pretty serious. So we don't want that for you, Maria. Okay, I really hope that you do put the word challenge in the comments so that you could participate in this challenge, all right? And again, I don't want you to think that I'm just going to be showing you one way and it's one way and that's it. And if you don't learn it, you can't do it, then that's the end of it. No way, okay? I'm going to be showing you a lot of different things, probably things that you have not seen, maybe some things that you have, but of course, all centered around keeping your independence. That's what is top priority for me to bring to you. So I do hope that you are all seeing the value of this, and I can't wait to see other people putting their numbers in here and replying to the emails and letting me know how they feel about getting up from the floor right now. All right, everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Nice and short, but I don't want to keep you for too long. Let me know what you thought about tonight's topic and what you learned. If you learned anything new, let me know, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.